Hello, my name is Enrique Cerezo, and in this video I am going to teach you how to use conditional sentences in English. This presentation is going to be organized as follows. We will first see what conditional sentences are and what they are used for. Then we will see the types of conditional sentences that are in English: the zero, first, second, third, and mixed conditionals. Finally, we will see some alternatives to if. So the main objective of this presentation is to illustrate how conditional sentences are used in English. Conditional sentences can be defined as sentences that connect a condition and a result. That is, something happens as a result of something else, or happens only if a certain condition is met. They can refer to real or imaginary present or past situations, and they are divided into two parts: the if clause, highlighted in yellow in the example, and the conditional clause, highlighted in green. The if clause and the conditional clause can appear in any order. If the conditional sentence starts with the if clause, a comma is needed to separate the conditional clause. But no comma is needed if the conditional sentence starts with the conditional clause. There are different types of conditional sentences: the zero, first, second, third, and mixed conditionals. And each one of them frames reality in a different fashion. So let's study them. Let's study them in greater detail. Let's start with the zero conditional. So the structure that you have for the zero conditional is if or when plus subject plus present tense, comma, subject and present tense. So the zero conditional is used to talk about facts or scientific truths. For example, if you stay up late, you feel awful next day, right? So that's a fact. Or if you heat water at 100 degrees, it boils. That's a scientific truth. First conditional. The structure that you have is if, subject, present tense, comma, subject, future tense, that is will, or you can also use with a verb like may, can, or must, plus infinitive. Right, the first conditional is used to talk about things which are possible or quite likely to happen in the present or future, or also for promises, warnings, and threats. So you've got a lot of examples here. If I get a job in Milan, I will move to Italy, so that's something possible. If it rains today, the meeting will be held indoors. That's also possible. If you share the results of your research with me, I'll be able to help you. So I promise I will be able to help you. So that could be understood as a promise. If you don't share the results of your research with me, I won't be able to help you. So that could be understood as a warning. If you don't have your review by 9 p.m., I'll ask somebody else to do it. So that could be understood as a threat. Second conditional. The structure is if, subject, and past tense, comma. And for the second clause, you have subject, would, might, or could, plus infinitive. The second conditional is used to talk about imaginary situations contrary to facts in the present, or situations which are possible but unlikely to happen. For example, if I ate less junk food, I would be healthier. Or the second example here, people might behave differently if they had a chance to repeat their lives. Third conditional, the structure is if, subject, past perfect, comma, and for the second clause, you have subject, would, might, or could, perfect infinitive, that is have, plus past participle. The third conditional is used to talk about imaginary situations contrary to facts in the past, or to regret things about the past or criticize people's mistakes. For example, he would have become a teacher if he had gone to university. Or I would have received an A if I had gone to class on a regular basis. And the last one is the mixed conditional, and it is a mixture of the second and third conditional. The structure is if, subject, past perfect, comma, subject, would, plus infinitive. Right. The mixed conditional is used to contrast an imagined or real event in the past with the present result of that. For example, if I had listened to your advice, I wouldn't be in this mess now. Or if I had worked harder, I would be promoted now. Let's study now some alternatives to if in conditional sentences. So you have as long as or so long as. For example, I go to study in Austria as long as, so long as I am granted a scholarship. So same as if I am granted a scholarship. Provided or providing that the bank lends us all the money we need, we will carry out the project. So if the bank lends us all the money we need, we will carry out the project. They agreed to lend us the car on condition that we return it by the weekend. You also have whether to or not, like I didn't know whether to tell him or not. So that's the right word. I mean, you need whether, not if. If would be wrong. So if to tell him or not would be incorrect in English. Okay, so you need to say whether to tell him or not. I won't visit her unless, okay, she is at home. A no ser que, that will be what we would say in Spanish. All right. Even if is like aunque. So even if I get a job, I'm going to carry on living with my parents for a while. And the last one, supposing or suppose you lost your job, what will you do? Here you have some links if you want to practice. This is the bibliography consulted to prepare this presentation. And that's all. Thanks for watching this video.